All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, Jeff Nadu, to get ready for tonight's action as well as what's going on this weekend. Jeff, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you, Clip?
Good. Let me start this off by saying I tend to be a negative fan, especially with my Commanders, but sometimes I think you're overcritical watching your teams play. I feel like the Eagles are cruising the other night. They make a good play. You're still critical about it. Turns out you deserve to be critical. I still can't believe they lost that game on Monday night. Not that you saw it coming, but you certainly weren't pleased throughout the night on Monday night. But man, it really felt like they let one get away Monday night.
Yeah, I mean that's really how the NFL works. It's a week to week league. You got to put what you had happen to you in the game before. You got to put it away and worry about the game at hand. And this is a continued problem that the Eagles have. I think at the end of the day, I really kind of look at Nick Sirianni and I ask, what does he do at this point? I mean, he doesn't make the right decisions. He allows points on the field considerably all the time. I mean, we had to go back to the fact that they lost the game by one, and this is a group that went for it on fourth down in the first quarter, didn't get it. He then kicks a late field goal. I mean, this is a guy who's obsessed with this brotherly shove play. Why not just put Jalen Hurts under center on 3rd and 3? If you get a yard or two, fine. Maybe even get 3 yards, and then you run it again on fourth down. Listen, I don't care if you're Saquon Barkley. You got to make that play, but there's no reason that you throw the ball there. None. But that's Sirianni. That's his group, and that's what they continue to do. They find ways to lose games.
Well, while we're on the NFL, let's talk about tonight's game. The Jets, a pretty hefty favorite for the way they've played so far against the New England Patriots, who certainly have played better than anyone thought they'd be through 2 weeks. You've got a low total here in the upper 30s, I believe, with these two teams. Any action, any interest in this Thursday night game tonight?
Not really. I think Thursday games are tough. I always generally have a problem betting them. I think they're a lot of the time. Look, the NFL does a nice job. Bookmakers do a good job of lining these games correctly. I think maybe the Jets are getting a little too much love here. This is still a group that struggles against the run. They're not going to have Jermaine Johnson anymore. He's out with a ACL tear for the rest of the year. I think CJ Mosley's out tonight as well. They did improve against the run against Tennessee, but still gave up 130 on the ground, which isn't good. You got to figure Ramondre Stevenson will have a big workload here. I would like to get the Jets up above 7 if I'm going to get involved here, and I don't think that's going to happen. So I mean, maybe you wait on this. Maybe at the late hour, a half hour before the game, it gets to 7. Maybe I take a shot there, but kind of a lukewarm favorite to me, and I'm not getting a good price on the dog.
Also coming up tonight, and we'll run through Thursday and Friday college games with you and see what you like on Saturday. Hoping to catch up with you Saturday on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. But tonight, a team we just saw at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium last week, Appalachian State, got a ton of yards, only put up 21 points in the win over East Carolina. But App State is a 7-point home favorite against South Alabama. Jeff, how about Jaguars, Mountaineers tonight? And also the Friday night slate as well. I'll go ahead and throw these out if you like any of these. Stanford, Syracuse a home favorite there. Illinois, Nebraska, a 7.5-point favorite at home against the Illini. And then San Jose State as a road dog at Washington State. So anything on this Thursday, Friday slate for college football?
Yeah, I'll just kind of give a thought quickly on each one. I mean, tonight's game, I'll just say both these teams play very fast. App State, one of the fastest teams in the country. South Alabama, not that far behind. Both have big play offenses. Both have good quarterbacks. Remember, South Alabama's off putting up 89 last week against Northwestern State. As far as tomorrow, so I lean probably over in that game. Tomorrow, first game, Stanford, Syracuse. Stanford off a bye, so travel's not a big deal here. I still think they have a pretty good offense. I think Ashton Daniels is a decent quarterback. They have a couple of good receivers. I think they can put points on the board in this game. I think they're going to be a team that hang around in a lot of games. We saw them do it against TCU. I felt like anything above 7, I had some interest in the dog here with Stanford. The next game, Illinois, Nebraska, lean under. We haven't seen Dylan Raiola play a really good defense yet. This would constitute a good defense. And look, Nebraska is an elite defense, Clip. They only allowed a 10 against a good Colorado offense. I feel like this is where Luke Altmaier finally kind of hits the skids a little bit. I think the under probably has value here. And then the late game, Washington State's got a good quarterback, John Mateer. He's good on the ground. He's good through the air. And San Jose Clip, weirdly enough, their coach is Ken Niumatalolo, who used to be
Yeah.
at Navy. Weirdly enough, they're kind of a passing offense, though. Last week, their quarterback had 355 yards through the air and 4 touchdowns. They haven't exactly gotten to play a team that they can kind of go quick against, play fast. They played Air Force and Kennesaw, 2 run-heavy offenses. I think you see a game kind of back and forth here, late night out in Pullman. I think it's first to 30 wins.
Jeff Nadu joining us. Jeff, let's hit some of the big ones on Saturday. I'm somewhat fascinated by the USC Michigan matchup. Like, can Michigan, we've seen, just can't do anything offensively, but can USC really tackle? Have they really changed up and improved their defense? We'll see a little bit on Saturday, and can USC score on a tight Michigan defense? So, pretty intriguing matchup. USC a road favorite at the Big House, total 44.5. How do you see this one playing out?
I bet the under in this game. I think a lot of what you said made sense to back the under. I mean, you look at USC's offense. I like Miller Moss, but Clip, he's not Caleb Williams, right? He's not going to. He hasn't necessarily faced a defense quite like this on the road. I think this is a game where they struggle to move the ball. I look at Michigan. I mean, it doesn't really matter who they play. I feel like they have struggled to move the ball, especially with Alex Orji as the quarterback. You also look at the fact that even in that game against Texas, I mean, the game only got to 43. I don't think that USC will put up 31. I think they're more around like 24. I think Michigan's probably around 10 to 14. I think 44 is too high. I put this total more at like 40, 41. I think if you're getting 44, I've got some interest there. I like the under.
We should see more points in Norman between Tennessee and Oklahoma. Tennessee could have scored over 100. It seems like if they wanted to last week. How about that matchup? That Tennessee, a road favorite going into Norman here in this SEC matchup.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a vintage Oklahoma offense. Now, when I say that, they'll probably put up 35 here. We know Tennessee like to play fast. We know they have a great offense and a questionable defense. I will say they have not been tested at all defensively. They played Chattanooga, Kent State, and NC State, who just couldn't move the ball. I feel like Oklahoma, Tennessee's on the road as well. I think Oklahoma moves the ball a little bit more. This does look a bit kind of sucker bettish to play the over here, though. Something tells me, though, Clip, that I think Tennessee is just kind of a wagon. I know the one thing that I know is that Tennessee will move the ball. Whether Oklahoma does, I don't really care. I would look towards maybe a Tennessee team total. That offense is really, really good. I mean, Clip, last week they put up 68 in 3 quarters against Kent State. That's 68 points in 45 minutes. That's pretty unbelievable, quite honestly. I mean, they probably had the ball, though, for like 30 minutes, 25 minutes. That's crazy.
Jeff Nadu joining us. Jeff, how about anything that jumps out at you for this college football weekend? What you got a favorite play?
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm about to bet this right when I get off the call with you here. I might even do it while I'm on the call. I like Army against Rice this week. I love these spots for Army. 12 p.m. West Point. Army's playing well. They're off a bye. They get a Rice team, Clip, who got absolutely destroyed last week on the ground against Houston. Houston ran for 237, put up 33. This Rice team is not real good, Clip. They got beat up in game 1 against Sam Houston, 34-14. Just really don't have many playmakers. I'm looking at Army at -6. I think that's a pretty good spot for that group. And, Clip, I'm looking more and more at ECU. I'm interested in this team. I don't know if I'll play the side. I mentioned the over last week. It didn't get there. You mentioned, though, kind of some issues in the red zone. Both those teams played really fast. I think one thing that I'm kind of fascinated by is ECU is top 15 nationally in plays run per game, which, is kind of interesting. Their defense, again, you and I talked before the show. I don't know if I can talk about that.
It seems like there's an issue in the secondary for ECU
Okay.
that is not
Yeah,
out yet.
we'll just say that there might be an issue in the secondary for East Carolina, which, listen, good defense, but when you take out, someone important, that can hurt a defense. Now a player has to play that may normally not play. Liberty is a good offense, as you know. And the one issue I have at Liberty Clip is they are not a very good defense. I watched Campbell move the ball up and down the field on Liberty. I watched New Mexico State move the ball up and down. I think if you're Jake Garcia, you've got to really be interested in this matchup. That said, East Carolina Clip, if they can hold on to the ball, that's all I care about. If they can hold on to the ball, they'll move it. I think the over is the play.
All right, Jeff Nadu liking the over in ECU Liberty. Jeff will try to track you down on Saturday, talk more football with you during the Bud Light pregame tailgate, but appreciate your time. Always enjoy talking football with you, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Clip. See you then.